We have major breaking news right now. Donald Trump has officially signed the Epstein Files bill into law, marking a historic achievement for the survivors who have fought for this day for decades. Survivors are extremely happy right now, and the focus needs to be on them. But Donald Trump has signed the bill despite not being happy with the fact that Senate Republicans passed the bill under unanimous consent. He wanted to delay it further. They didn't delay it. They rebuked him, and well, he had to sign it, and he did sign it. Now, it triggers a 30-day clock. Attorney General Pam Bondi has to release the files within 30 days. There are certain redactions that she can make for personal identifying information of victims, things like that. But ultimately, for any redaction she makes, she has to provide a reason for why she's making the redaction. I went through the entire bill and exactly what is coming next for you on my Substack linked in bio, so make sure to check it out. Subscribe for free by clicking the link in my bio. And as always, follow along to stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about. There will be much more to come, I'm sure, soon.
Donald Trump has officially signed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and a number of people are saying, well, Pam Bondi opened a new investigation today, so it doesn't matter. But it does, because here's the thing. You see, the Department of Justice now has 30 days to release the files, and they can redact victims' names and anything related to active investigations, narrow active investigations. And like I've said before, these aren't the only files. There's international files, there's estate files. There are thousands of people who worked on scrubbing Trump and other influential people's names out of the files since January or February that they're going to get subpoenaed to the House, to the Oversight Committee, to the Senate. If all of a sudden, after 60,000 documents and over 1,500 mentions of Donald Trump, he's no longer in them. All of these agents will be subpoenaed, and they won't cover for Pam Bondi, somebody that most of them despise. They won't cover for Kash Patel, somebody that most of them despise. So the truth will come out. It might not come out today. It might not come out by the end of the year. But the truth will come out, and the investigations will continue. It took over 2.5 years for Nixon to resign after the initial break in the Watergate scandal. The government does not move fast, but the government eventually gets where it's going. And in this case, they are going to get justice for Epstein's victims. Because left or right, this isn't political. This is about getting justice for the people that were harmed by a group of high-profile and powerful men and women. Both young girls and young boys. Thousands were harmed in this whole ring. And it's about justice for those victims.
Breaking news, after fighting the release of the Epstein files for months, Trump has finally signed the bill to release them, and the files are going to come out within the next 30 days from today. They have to release the files within that time frame, and then after that, if there are any redactions for removing victims' names or people who are named that are under current investigation regarding this, they have to explain those redactions within 15 days. And they cannot redact names for embarrassing material or political material. So this is the release of all the files, communications, and materials related to Epstein. And it also includes all the investigative material into Epstein's death. This is what happens when the people speak up and democracy prevails. The truth is coming. So stay tuned, be sure to subscribe and follow, as there will be updates about this as things come out. Make sure to like this video, comment what you think about it, share it, and I will see you back here for the 411.
Hey, what's up, America? Donald Trump signs the bill to release the Epstein files. So as you know, the House of Representatives passed the bill almost unanimously to release the Epstein files. The Senate did the same thing the same day. So the bill made it to Donald Trump's desk and Donald Trump signed it. So now that means the Epstein files are to be released to the general public. So I applaud Donald Trump for doing this. That was the correct thing to do. However, House Speaker Mike Johnson says that some of it will be redacted for national security. So apparently protecting chomos somehow is in national security interests. Even though he says it has to do with continuity of law enforcement and all this other shit, we all know that's crap. The only way some of it wouldn't come out is because Donald Trump ordered investigations into top Democrats like Bill Clinton. But the language of the bill says it gives the Department of Justice, quote, reasonable time to get the Epstein files out to the public. So what is reasonable time exactly? Because frankly speaking, you've had those Epstein files on your desk for months. The redactions and all the shit you're trying to hide probably should be done by now. So it'd be real nice if you got those Epstein files released to the public in maybe the next 7 business days at the very fucking maximum. I mean, we do want to win the midterms, right? So we kind of want to get on the ball with some of this shit that, you know, the general public actually wants. Like the Epstein files being dropped, gas, food, rent, and car prices, and energy prices dropping. Those would be nice. Reducing or eliminating income tax for poor people. All that's something we want. And you know what? We need to start getting that shit. God damn it. We need to start getting it.
The tangerine toddler doesn't seem very happy about potentially proving his innocence. Trump just signed the Epstein bill into law and is throwing an epic tantrum over on Truth Social. I think you'd be a little happier if your story was about to be proved, Donnie. I mean, come on. Be a little grateful. And Pam, darling, you have 30 days, all right? Now, you can pause to read these screenshots here. He is throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this, naming prominent Democrats, blaming them, saying Mr. E was a Democrat, blah-de-blah-de-blah, yada, yada, yada. Even some of the oldies but goodies, you know, the Russia hoax, because why not throw that one in there too? His base loves it. But really, we're going to see in the next 30-odd days what information actually comes out. And I would think that, as Trump claims he's done nothing wrong, he'd be a little bit happier to potentially prove that story. This doesn't seem very happy to me. This doesn't seem like a calm, reassured man about to be vindicated. It's not reading that way at all. It is reading like, oh, crap.
I find it suspicious that with everything he signs, he does it in the Oval Office, in front of all of the cameras, and they give this whole explanation of what it is that he's signing. It just makes me go, that he didn't do that with this Epstein bill. It's being reported that last night Donald Trump signed the Epstein bill into law. And like I said, every day when there's some major legislation, some major executive order that he's getting ready to sign, there's this whole circus about it. He's sitting in the Oval Office, he's sitting behind his desk, he's got the handyman there explaining what the bill is. He signs the bill. Everybody is recording. Everybody's snapping pictures. He gives his commentary on what it is that he's signing. And that just didn't happen with this bill. And because of that, I'm wondering if he really did sign the bill. I'm wondering if he really did sign the bill and he's just telling all of us that he signed the bill. Notice how ABC posed the headline. Trump says he signed Epstein bill. I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all think he signed the bill? Anywho, just because he signed the bill doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to see what is in those Epstein files. I want to remind you that just a couple of days ago, he called for an investigation. And as a result of calling for that investigation, the Department of Justice can say, oh, yeah, there's an investigation going on. We can't release those files. And pretty much during Pam Bondi's conference on yesterday, that's pretty much what she told me. At least that's what I took from it.
On the Epstein files, does the new investigation by the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney prevent the department from releasing all of the remaining files?
So we have released over 33,000 Epstein documents to the Hill, and we'll continue to follow the law and to have maximum transparency. Also, we will always encourage all victims to come forward.
What are the next steps, Madam Attorney General, for the DOJ regarding what we assume President Trump will sign into law with the Epstein files? Is this going to be on the Justice Department website? What are you doing here over the next 30 days as we understand it?
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
Yeah.
When you say follow the law, Madam Attorney General, do you mean that you will provide all the files by 30 days?
We will follow the law. The law passed both chambers last evening. It has not yet been signed, but we will continue to follow the law, again, while protecting victims, but also providing maximum transparency.
We will continue to follow the law while providing maximum transparency and protecting the victims. Every question they asked, that's how she responded.
Somebody told a lie one day.
Yep, I believe, just like I'm sure all of you believe, that we won't see what's in those Jeffrey Epstein files. What he's doing, what she's doing, what they are doing is playing in all of our faces. MAGA will eat it up. The rest of us will see it for exactly what it is. An administration that is continuing to cover up and protect pedophiles.
Trump signs the Epstein bill to release the files, and it looks like some of these files will start to be released in the next 30 days or so. That is, if AG Pam Bondi doesn't decide that all of it has to be either redacted or held back because of investigations. And we can fully expect these documents to be completely scrubbed. Like, I think as we speak, they're going Command F and replace all for anything that has to say Trump or is Republican adjacent. But the fascinating turn of events here is that all of this was completely unnecessary. Donald Trump has said himself that the president can declassify any documents that he wants at a whim, but he actively chose not to. He made the House jump through hoops to be able to hit that 218 threshold to force the vote when he could have just declassified this at any moment. If you were going to do it, why did you wait so long? Why did you drag your feet to get to what is inevitably already going to happen?
Breaking news at this hour, if you have not already heard, President Donald Trump has officially signed into law a sweeping transparency measure that forces the Department of Justice to release all unclassified records connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Let me repeat that. The law is signed and the countdown starts now. Not tomorrow, right now. So under this new mandate, Attorney General Pam Bondi and the entire Justice Department now have 30 days to gather, review, and prepare every unclassified Epstein-related document for public release. That includes case files, internal memos, federal communications, investigative notes, and any other unclassified materials tied to Epstein, his network, his finances, and the government's handling of the case. For years, survivors and the public have been demanding answers, and tonight marks the first real step towards getting them. Now, this is one of the most consequential transparency laws we've seen in decades. It signals bipartisan pressure, national scrutiny, and a turning point in how much the American people will finally be allowed to know. Here's what you need to know going forward. Number one, the Department of Justice must begin compiling every single document immediately. Number two, a full legal review is required, but the law sets a strict clock, 30 days means 30 days. And number 3, once the review is complete, the files must be released to the public. No extensions, no delays, no excuses. Now, this could reshape public understanding of one of the most powerful criminal networks in modern history, and it could expose failures, cover-ups, and long-held secrets that institutions have fought to keep hidden. So the people in the neighborhood deserve the truth. And tonight, the federal government has been ordered to finally hand it over. So, of course, here in the Brownstone, we're going to be tracking every moment of this 30-day timeline. And we'll keep you up to date with what we find as soon as it happens and it's available to us. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me for this quick Brownstone brief. For more news and information that you can always use, head over to brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and you guessed it, Brownstone Living magazine. Guys, get out there and enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you around.